Massive 24-player battles and AI opponents, you could say Warzone definitely surprised people at E3 earlier this year, as well as when Halo 5 launched 1 month ago. Now we've spent a bunch of time playing Warzone, as well as its companion game mode, Warzone Assault, which is a pseudo-invasion game mode. Suffice it to say, people are definitely enjoying it, giving people the classic Halo gameplay that we all know and love, and giving people who enjoy the unbalanced nature of Reach and 4 as separate game modes, was a good move by 343 at trying to keep both audiences. But a mode as big as this isn't without its faults. Faults that, if fixed, would make this mode more enjoyable than it already is. So let's talk about Warzone a bit, and discuss some stuff that's been involved with this brand new game mode. Let's start with the biggest aspect of Warzone, which are AI opponents. Warzone is played to 1,000 victory points, which are earned for killing players, securing bases, and taking down enemy bosses. These enemy AI bosses spawn at set points in areas in the game and range from heroic difficulty to legendary. The special legendary bosses give an abundance of points, giving the losing team the chance to make a comeback if need be. They're also very challenging, requiring the help of your teammates, proper map control, and your sweet rec weapons. All these things really change up the landscape of a typical Halo battle, as many players are shooting down the boss while trying to keep the enemy players from taking the kill. Although sometimes it's not that great, since some of the bosses on the maps are badly placed, such as Baron Strom on Ark or Captain Hestra on Apex 7. Thus making it harder to control that part of the map, since an enemy sniper can steal the boss kill from right under the other team's noses. And boss variety also seems to be an issue, albeit a small one. Knowing you're fighting the Warden Eternal at the end of every match kinda gets boring after a while, but after playing a while it does give your team enough knowledge to create a strategy. Let's move on to another big part of Warzone, the rec system and the awesomely made weapons. I personally love this system. It adds a bunch of chaos to the Halo sandbox, slightly introduced with the unbalanced gameplay of Reach and 4, and it's just fun using the weapons that change up how the original performs in cool and different ways. We have minor ways that the weapons change, like the Hailstorm, a needler that fires faster, or the Whiplash, an ungodly force of nature, the likes of which have never been seen since the last blood harvest. Sorry about that. Then we have things about the weapons that change drastically, like the Prophet's Bane, an energy sword that when equipped, you're invisible, or Void's Tear, a plasma pistol that fires black holes. Black holes! That's pretty cool. Furthermore, it's actually still pretty balanced. The weapons are gated behind a system called Rec Energy. You can't spawn with a sniper every time since you have to wait till you have enough Rec Energy to use the card, as well as the appropriate Rec level. In addition to that, your Rec Energy actually spawns at a decent rate, so you get a nice supply of various requisitions throughout the game. It's a pretty cool feature that personally makes Warzone all the more fun. Lastly, let's briefly talk about teams and the maps of Warzone. Having a 24-player game is absolutely fantastic. Small skirmishes have always had the possibility to turn into massive firefights in Halo, and that's only with a 16-player lobby. With 24 players, there's all the more opportunity. The maps are pretty awesome as well. All are pretty fun to play on and have their own distinct personalities to them, ranging from a mining installation in the middle of an ocean to a spiritual successor or a silent cartographer from Halo CE. But although they are fun, there are moments that can break a game, such as the increasing difficulty of recapturing middle bases on some maps and the occasional terrible spawn. Also, although we already talked about how the boss spawns aren't exactly the best, you could say that it could also be the fault of the maps, as they have long sightlines to take care of some of the bosses. The maps are also reused for Warzone Assault, but on a smaller scale. That doesn't exactly bother me since it was like that with Invasion and Reach. But unlike Invasion, you have access to the entire map from the get-go, which kinda ruins the constant rush of enemies on your base. One thing to note though is at the time of this recording, 343 is looking into ways to fix that, so there is that. Alright, now that we talked about Warzone, let's talk about what things we'd like to be improved upon. I'd love to see some more team features implemented. Things like making your fire team visible on the entire map, maybe with a different service tag color, manual spawning on set fire team, kinda like how Battlefield does it with their squad system, and the ability to set waypoints on objectives to communicate with randoms better. But you might want to cool down on that last one, because people will spam the crap out of that. I would also like to have the option to play Warzone maps on Big Team Battle. They're great maps and I feel like we can enjoy them so much more. Also, some rotation for the legendary bosses would be nice. Sure, your team can get a strategy in place with a boss, but having a rotation can make it so you have to change plans on the fly. And one final thing I'd like to see is the removal of flying bosses, or at least reduce the output of points they give to the team who gets the kill. Flying bosses are basically free game because it's very hard to control the skies for just one team. Personally, having bosses that have the chance of getting killed from anyone on the map shouldn't be worth as many points as they are right now. Surely there are more improvements that I didn't cover or didn't think about, which is why you should leave yours in the comments below, along with your opinion about Warzone as a whole. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this little discussion, and I'll see you guys later.